morning, everyone. Happy Friday to you. I hope you're having a really great start to your beginning of weekend. I have my best friend Grant back there who's going to be helping us throughout the practice, and with a little bit of Bruno's help too. Hopefully he'll not be so distracting to us. We'll go ahead and start on our mats, and we're going to start standing today. We don't have to come down onto the floor right away, but go ahead and start at the top of your mat wherever you want to. I'll stand back a little bit till we get down onto the floor. I want you to close your eyes, root the feet into the floor and lift up through the sternum. Pull the shoulder blades together behind the back. And then I want you to point the fingertips down, but then face the palms forward. And you'll lift up through the back of the head so that the back of the neck is long. And then as you just root the feet into the floor, notice how the body's feeling. Are you holding the breath? Are you tensing any part of the body? And then we'll bring the hands together in front of the heart. And to begin practice, let's take 3 breaths together to begin, in through the nose and out of the mouth. All together, inhale deeply. Open mouth, exhale, and slowly sigh it out. Again, inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. And then one last time, bigger inhale here. Slower exhale out. And then let's seal the lips, keep the eyes closed, and start to bring all of your awareness to your breath, breathing in and out of the nose. Feel the thumbs connecting to the heart. Feel the feet rooting into the floor. And find this rhythmic pace that you can connect to your breath to here. And we'll take one more full cycle of breath. And then I want you to blink the eyes open. So today's practice is all about releasing tension that has been built up into the body from stress, anxiety, worry. Some of that manifests as tension maybe in the shoulders and the hips. So as we move through practice, use your breath to release any of these tight areas. You can hold a pose longer. You don't have to stay with us. But if something feels really good, then maybe hold that pose a little bit longer. And on the inhale, we'll lift the arms out and up. Feel the palms touch overhead. Look at the thumbs as they touch. And then exhale to pull the hands down to the heart. We'll do that 2 more times just to warm the shoulders up. Inhale, out and up. Palms touch overhead. Exhale, control the breath as you exhale. Pull the hands to the heart. One last time. Inhale, out and up. Palms touch. Exhale, pull the hands down to the heart. Pause here. Take a big, deep breath in and a deep breath out. Release the hands back to the sides of the body. You can point the fingers down. You don't need to shine the palms forward, but I want you to start to roll both shoulders up towards the ears and then release them down the back with the exhale. So nice and slow. Inhale up towards the earlobes. Use the exhale to roll them down towards the heels. One last time. Inhale up towards the ears. Big roll back. And then forward. Inhale up towards the ears. Roll the shoulders forward. Use the exhale and the breath to move the shoulders. So nice and slow. Inhale up. Exhale, roll the shoulders forward. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. As you exhale, push the shoulders down and forward. Pause here. Pull the shoulder blades together behind the back. Long back of the neck so that the chin is slightly tucked. And then now I want you to bring the chin towards the chest. Start to roll the left ear towards the left shoulder. And then very gently be mindful of the back of the neck as you roll to the back of the neck. Don't crunch those cervical vertebrae there. And then right ear towards the right shoulder, and then chin back towards the chest. You can use your breath, maybe speed up how fast you're going, maybe pause in any area that feels good. And then once the chin comes back down to the chest, pause here. Bring the hands together behind the head, interlace the fingers. Gently just place the palms on the back of the head and then pull the elbows together. Should feel a nice little stretch in the back of the neck and the shoulders. Take one more breath here. Release the hands back down and then now right ear towards the right shoulder. Roll all the way back, being mindful of the back of the neck, left ear towards the left shoulder, and then chin towards the chest. And do that one more time, big neck circle. And then once the chin gets back to the chest, pause here. Interlace the hands once again behind the head. Pull the elbows towards one another and just let the weight of the hands stretch the back of the neck. Take one more full breath here. Really nice. Release the hands down, root into the feet. On the next inhale, let's blink the eyes open if they're closed, lift the arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, lead with the heart, dive over the thighs. Really nice and gentle to the low back. Inhale, bring the hands to the shins. Reach the crown of the head forward for a flat back. And then exhale to forward fold. Bend in the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, palms touch overhead. And then exhale, pull the hands down to the heart. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, out and up. Reach the crown of the head up, fingertips lift. Exhale, lead with the heart, dive over the thighs. Be mindful of the low back as you forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Fingertips can stay onto the floor or come to the shin, but reach the crown forward. Exhale to forward fold. Bend in the knees. Inhale to rise. Arms come up. Palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Close the eyes and take a big breath in and a big breath out. You'll blink the eyes open. We'll come to the top of the mat now. So Grant and I will come to the top of our mats. Ground into the feet. On your inhale, blink the eyes open, arms lift out and up, palms touch. Exhale, lead with the heart, dive over the thighs. Inhale, flat back, crown reaches forward. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, and I want you to step back into a table pose. So if you need to, you can roll the mat under the knees if the floor doesn't feel good for the knees. And I want you to feel the knees right underneath the hips. Press into the palms and slightly spread the shoulder blades. Ground into the palms as you rotate the weight in between the pointer finger and thumb. And then walk the knees back, maybe one big knee print, so that the knees now are just a little bit behind the hips. Then I want you to push the hips back over the knees, so now that the wrists are past the shoulders. So now that the hips are back over the knees. And then you can walk the hands forward just a little bit more. Start to bring your chin down towards the floor. You're going to keep your booty up. That's why we're facing back on our mat, so we're not facing you guys. But bring the heart down to the floor if you can. If that doesn't feel good, then you can bring the forehead down. But this should feel fairly nice in the back of behind the sternum. And then just take a couple of breaths here. Notice if you started to hold the breath. Take big, slow, deep breaths so you can bring space into the body to release that tension from the shoulders. And take another full cycle here. And then stay low, keep pressing all the way back and come into a child's pose. Press the sit bones back for the heels. You can have the arms along the sides of you extended forward. You can bring them along the sides of the body. You can even place them flat to where you can rest the center of the forehead. And then I just want you to take a full breath here. Close the eyes. Feel the sit bones really heavy onto the heels. And then keep pressing the sit bones onto the heels, and then maybe just walk the arms up a little bit more so you feel a little bit more lengthening in the back. Take another full cycle here. Really nice, everyone. So I want you to come forward, extend the legs all the way out so you're coming down onto the belly. Toes are going to extend behind you. Bring the palms, actually I want you to keep the palms where they are so they should be in line with the chest, maybe with right next to that first rib. And then hug the elbows in, press the tops of the feet onto the floor so that both legs are engaged. And then on your next inhale, I want you to lift up through the back of the head. Roll the shoulder blades down towards the sit bones. Keep hugging the elbows in. I want you to gaze right down onto the mat so that you protect the back of the neck. Take another breath in, press into the tops of the feet. And then on your next exhale, slowly release the heart back down. Bring the hands behind the body, interlace the fingers. Make sure that that right thumb is on top just so we can switch sides on the next time. Can keep the chin onto the floor for now. I just want you to reach the knuckles down towards the heels so that you pull the collarbone away from the chin. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and lift through the back of the neck. Keep pressing the tops of the feet onto the floor. You can keep the thumbs resting on the low back or the sit bones, or you can lift them off of the sit bones and reach the knuckles towards the heels even more. See if you can soften through the shoulders. Take another full breath in, lifting through the back of the head. And then use your next exhale to release. Hands are going to come right alongside the chest. Tuck the tops of the toes onto the floor and firm the legs. Roll the shoulder blades back. So on your next inhale, with or without the knees, I want you to come into your downward facing dog. Lift the sit bones nice and high. Ground the palms into the floor. Lift really high through the hips, but press the hamstrings back for that back wall. So as you press the mat down and forward, you're going to lift the booty up nice and high and the hamstrings towards the back. You can keep a slight bend in the knees if the hips feel tight, but encourage the heels to drop down towards the floor. And then take another full breath here. Really nice, Grant. And take one more full cycle, seeing if you can drop the heels a little bit more as you lift the sit bones up higher. Really good. Really nice. On the next inhale, right leg is going to lift. Look forward, and I want you to plant the foot between the palms. Make sure that the ankle is underneath the knee, and then lower the left knee and untuck the toes. Walk the hands back towards the left knee and come onto the right heel so that the toes point up towards the ceiling. So you're in a half splits here. Hands are going to be right underneath the shoulders. I want you to inhale to lengthen the spine. So lengthen the spine towards the toes, and then exhale to fold forward. And we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen, reach the heart forward. And then exhale to forward fold. One last time, we'll inhale. And then on this exhale, we'll fold and hold. Soften the breath. Come back to that rhythmic breath that you created at the beginning of your practice. And then just see if you can breathe into that space in the back of the hamstring and the side of the right hip. Really good. Walk the foot back so that the ankle is right underneath the knee. And then you're going to extend this left hand forward and start to walk the left or the right foot towards that left wrist, coming into a pigeon pose. Extend the left leg back nice and straight. And then as you come down onto the hips, see if you can keep the hips square to the front of the mat. And then inhale to lift up and out of the shoulders. So extend that left leg back. You can heel toe the left leg straight onto your mat. There you go. And then if this doesn't work for you, you can always do that same pose on your back. And then you're going to choose to stay here, lifting up and out of the heart, or you can come down onto the forearms. You can come onto the fists if that feels good. And then just take any pose here that feels good for the body and start to deepen your breath. Come back to the breath that you created. So the breath is what is going to anchor you into the moment. It's also going to help drown out any mind chatter. So any chatter that starts to come and get a little bit louder to the top of the mind, use that breath to drown out those sounds. Slow the breath down. Take 2 more breaths here. Really good. 1 more full inhale and a full exhale. Tuck the left toes under. Firm the left leg. Then I want you to press into the palms. Walk that right foot back over towards the right so that the right ankle is underneath the right knee. And then we'll lower the left knee back down. Use a mat or a pillow underneath that left knee if you need a little bit of cushion. Inhale to rise up into a low lunge. So as you sink into this front foot, you don't want the knee to go too past the ankle. See if you can align it and find that 90 degree with the ankle over the knee. Inhale to lift the heart up towards the chin. Soften the shoulder blades down the back. I want you to grab the left wrist with the right hand. Inhale to lengthen. And then as you exhale, just lean over towards the right so you can feel some space along the right side of the torso into the front of the right hip flexor. And take another full cycle of breath. Really nice. Look to the right. Take an inhale here to find some length. And then as you exhale, we're going to come into a twist. Bring the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Palms come together. Press the palms together to spread the shoulder blades. And then you're just going to gaze towards the right shoulder or the right elbow. The belly button is going to pull towards the spine. And then see if you can use the left ribs to help rotate the torso up towards the ceiling. Take another full cycle of breath here. Really nice, everyone. Use your inhale to unwind, come back to center. Arms are right alongside the ears. Pause for your exhale. Inhale to grow a little bit taller through the torso here, and then use your exhale to come down to the floor. Left toes tuck under, firm the left leg. Step back into downward facing dog. And I just want you to notice the difference in the sides of the body here. Should feel a little bit longer through that right side. Take another full breath here. You can use a child's pose if you need to. But come back to your breath and just take a moment here. And then on the next inhale, let's raise the left leg up. Look forward, plant the foot between the palms. Ankle is right underneath the knee, and then you're going to lower the right knee and untuck the toes. Walk the hands back so you come onto the left heel and point the toes up towards the ceiling. Notice if the right hip wants to swing out, pull the right hip back so both the hips are in line with the shoulders and everything's pointing forward. Hands are right underneath the shoulders. And I want you to inhale to lengthen, grow nice and tall, and then exhale to hinge forward. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, find some length. And then exhale, hinge. 1 more inhale. Grow nice and long, flat back. And then exhale, fold, and we'll hold here. Keep everything hugging into midline. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. And just breathe now into the back of the left hamstring. Notice any tension that you feel in any other parts of the body, maybe the low back or the sacrum. And then continue to make space for the neck. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. 1 more cycle. And on your next inhale, walk the foot forward. Right hand walks a little bit further forward so you can walk the left foot over, coming into pigeon pose. Lower the left knee down. You can always flip over onto your back. Extend that right leg out straight onto the mat. And just give it a little look to make sure it's coming out of the body straight. Slight little flex in the left foot. Shoulders and hips point forward. Inhale to lengthen, grow tall through the spine. And then you can stay here, or you can exhale. You can come down onto the forearms. You can stack the fists. You can do whatever feels good here for you. But I want you to close the eyes and then use the breath that you have cultivated to be anchored in the moment. Don't let the mind take you off your mat. See if you can soften any areas of tension. And then we'll take 1 more full cycle. And just notice the difference in sides of the bodies. We'll start to make our way into that low lunge position. But notice one side of the body is going to feel tighter than the other. And that's where the props, the modifications will come in handy. So when you're ready, we'll go ahead and tuck the right toes if you're still folded forward. And then just begin to walk that right foot over, back, or the left foot, back over to the left. Make sure that the ankle is underneath the left knee, and then we'll lower the right knee down and untuck the toes. Inhale to rise all the way up. Soften the shoulder blades down the back. Lift through the sternum, and then really press into the ball of that left toe. Take another full cycle of breath here. Engage the core. Now we're going to grab that right wrist with the left hand. Inhale to lengthen through the right side of the body, and then exhale, lean over to the left. Soften through the right shoulder. Take another full breath here, finding length. See if you can feel it all the way down into the front of the right hip. And then look to the left. Take another inhale to grow a little bit longer out of that right side. And then use the exhale to bring the navel towards the spine, right elbow to the left thigh. Palms come together. Press into the palms, rotate the torso, and gaze towards the left elbow or towards the left shoulder. Keep pressing into the palms. Stay with that breath that you've cultivated. See if you can use the right ribs to rotate the torso towards the ceiling a little bit more. And I didn't mention it on the other side, but if you want to try and play with your balance, you can try and tuck the right toes and lift the right knee off the floor. Something just to play with. Wherever you are, take another full cycle of breath. Inhale now to unwind. Come back to the front of the mat. Extend the arms up alongside the ears. Take a big inhale to lengthen. And then the exhale is going to bring the hands down to the floor. Tuck the right toes under. Find downward facing dog. As you press the palms down into the floor, lift the sit bones nice and high. Drop the heels towards the floor. Big full cycle of breath. Take one more full breath here just to settle. And then the exhale is going to bring the knees down to the floor, press back into child's pose. If the low back is talking to you, then have the knees wide and the big toes touching. And you can always come down onto the forearms. You can stack the palms flat. And once you get down here, take a full cycle of breath. And just notice those areas in the body that you were tuning into at the beginning of practice, any tightness that you might have released. You'll take another cycle here just to slow the breath down. And then extend the legs out, come onto the belly. Have the hands right next to the chest. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Roll the shoulder blades back towards the sit bones. On your inhale, lift through the back of the head. Hug the elbows in, find your cobra pose. Keep the legs nice and firm. Take another big full breath in and a full breath out. This time maybe press into the palms a little bit more, lifting through the back of the head. Getting into a little bit more of a back bend if you'd like. Take one more cycle of breath here. And then release all the way down. Can bring the hands behind the back. This time you're interlacing the fingers so that the left thumb is on top. Reach the knuckles down for the heels. On your next inhale, lift through the back of the head. If you want to go a little bit more, lift the tops of the feet off the floor this time. Point through the toes. And then the next option is just to lift the thumbs off of the glutes and reach them down towards the heels. If you have everything lifted, keep the gaze down, but lift through the back of the skull. Lift the heels a little bit higher if the toes are off the floor. Reach the knuckles down for the heels. Take another full breath. And then use your exhale to release. Really nice, everyone. The best part, flip over onto your back. When you come onto your back, bring the knees into the chest. You can wrap the arms around the shins or right behind the knees on the hamstrings. And as you pull the knees closer towards the chin, feel the sit bones press forward and down. I want you to lengthen through the sacrum, lengthen through the glutes. Big full breath in and a full breath out. Keep the right knee hugged in, wrap the arms around the shin or the hamstring, extend the left leg out. And you can point the toes up towards the ceiling. Keep the left hand on the right thigh, open the right arm out to a T or a cactus shape, bending at the elbow. And then you're going to inhale to lengthen. Use your exhale to pull the right knee across the body. You're going to come onto the left hip, but keep the right shoulder glued to the floor. So pull the navel to the spine. If you need to adjust to get onto that left hip more, go ahead and do so. And then the option is to stay here. If you have the flexibility, you could also straighten through the right leg, grab the big toe with the hand. That just kind of helps to lengthen through the outside of the right thigh. Wherever you are, keep the right shoulder connected to the floor. Take one more full breath. And use your inhale to unwind, come back to center. The right foot is going to step onto the floor just so you can re-square the hips back center. And then bring the left knee into the chest, wrap the hands around the shin, extend the right leg out straight. Firm through the right leg, toes point up to the ceiling. Either cactus or a T with the left arm. As you inhale, grow nice and long through the body. And then exhale to come onto that right hip. If you need to make any adjustments, go ahead and do so. Don't kick me in the face, Grant. And then you'll come onto that right hip. And if you have the flexibility, you can, and the room, you can straighten through that left leg and reach for the toes with the right hand. Wherever you are, though, I want you to keep the left shoulder connected to the floor, and then take a full breath here. One more cycle. And then the inhale is going to unwind us, come back to center. Press the left foot onto the floor to square the hips. Both knees are going to come back into the chest. So as you wrap the arms around the shins, just take a breath here. I want you to place the feet onto the floor. Bring one hand over your belly, one hand over your heart, and just connect back with your breath. And in this moment right here, I want you to think about gratitude and honor and breathe into the first thing that you feel grateful for. Take one more breath. And then either rock to the right side and push your way up to seated, or use your core to engage and come up to seated through the core. Rock the sit bones from side to side. Keep the eyes closed. Hands come together in front of the heart. Take a big, deep breath in and a full breath out. And I hope that you let go of that worry and tension, and you're able to find more gratitude throughout your day. Put a smile on your face. And when you're ready, blink the eyes open. Namaste.
Namaste.
All right, guys, thanks so much for your time. Sorry I went a couple of minutes over, but I hope that you were able to enjoy your practice and release some of that built up tension that has come into the body. Hope that you take this feeling of openness off the mat into your weekend. And I hope you have a really great weekend. Thanks so much for your time. Let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything else that you would like to see. And I really hope to see you next week on the mat, Monday at 9 a.m. Have a great day.